HCDA, and today we're playing some more Oxygen Not Included, and I've decided to stop playing it safe a little bit and start to do a bit more exploring and expanding, because so far I seem to be doing pretty well. But yeah, there's so much more room I can use to expand. Look at this map. I'm not sure how large the actual map is going to be, but it feels like there's a lot more out there for me to explore. So there's a couple of things I want to do though. We have our first little critter. What's this? Oh, that's just stuff on the ground. Anyway, we have our first little critters, so what we can do is use the wrangle key. There we go. And make sure we get those to where they need to go, which should be over here. No, not over here. Hold on. It's this one. There we go. One of them is a sage hatchling, so that's gonna help me actually be more efficient about getting some of that coal up and running, which is something that's needed because this coal is gonna run out sooner or later, and that's pretty much what I'm relying on for my power for the moment. So yeah. Let's see. We have one Draco over here, but there is another one over there. So what I want to do is, let's see. We can just dig our way to him. I guess 1, 2, 3. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Let's just clear this area out like so. And then let's just stepstone our way to him. Something like that. Yes. Just making sure we can grab him as well. And while we do that, let's make sure we wrangle. And then that should mean he's going to get transported to... Well, no, because then I would actually need a drop-off. You know, the one thing I decided I didn't need there. That's okay, though. Once we get him wrangled, we can manually move him. Can I do that now? Hold on. Relocate to here. There we go. Now, this guy is going to start producing some phosphorite, so that's nice. That's going to help feed these guys. There's already phosphorite in here, so I can probably stop using the bristleberry for that. Hold on. So, let's just click the phosphorite. That should keep them fed for a very long time. They really don't need that much. And if I have 2 of them, is this guy tamed yet? No, he's still live. Well, he'll turn tame very soon. Yeah, then that will take care of that. Now, in the meanwhile, something else I also want to do. Over here, I have some more of these dudes as well. So let's make sure we also grab these. And then we'll have to manually relocate them, I guess. Hold on, where's the other one I had? It was over here, right? Now I'm confused. Am I just blind, not seeing it? Is he hiding in the ground or something? I don't know. Anyway, I had several of them. Whoa, there's a whole bunch of these things here. And while they are enjoying lunch, there's another thing I want to do. So I've been dumping my polluted water into my healthy water, and as several of you have pointed out to me, that's probably not the best idea. So I want to try something else. I could look this up, but I just want to test it out. What happens if I put the water in a storage and I'm having my irradiation clean it that way? Would that make it into clean water? I actually don't know if radiation can reach into a container and clean it out that way. But, yeah, I'm willing to find out. So let's make sure we connect it up like this. And we can deconstruct that thing so it doesn't dump it in the normal water anymore. How are we doing on germs in this water? It's cleared out most of it. There's a lot of slime lung getting into my base for some reason. Yeah, I guess that's being produced over there. Well, there is an easy way of stopping that, I think. For the moment, at least. Just have a airlock. Let's just put it over here. I think that's gonna be fine. We'll deal with that at some point, but just keeping it out for the moment should do the trick. I am going to move these things down here, though. I don't think this is a particularly useful location for these things to be in, mostly because I think it's overkill because we already have 2 over there. And then I'm gonna grab myself some wire and let's just connect these up. There we go. We can bring this wire down like so, through the doors, and then like this. That should take care of that. Okie dokie, so my Draco over here has a little friend, so that's gonna be awesome. These guys are in the process of being relocated. Now, I just realized there's another one of them running around in here, and which is great because that allows me to start digging down. Now, let's see. Let's start with this thing. I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm just gonna go down, to be honest. I mean, that... Oh, look, there's another one over there, actually, as well. Should I be clearing this out? I'm not sure what the point is of leaving this in. There's a light fixture here. I mean, what is this made of? Can I tell what this is made of? Ooh, steel, I guess. Oh, look, there's a plastic ladder over here as well. If I deconstruct this, will I get some plastic out of that? I assume so. I mean, that will be kind of neat, to be honest. So, what I can do is... well, that won't work. Well, it will work to some extent, but what I want to do is basically just deconstruct this area. There we go. And we'll have to deal with the missing pieces in a moment. But what I want to do is deconstruct this and just get the materials, because I don't know what I need lockers for. Oh, we can scrounge these. Hold on. Let's not demolition them just yet. We can rummage them. Is there anything else we can interact with here? I don't think so. I mean, I assume I can't interact with the lamp. No. Okay, well, we can at least rummage this for materials. Does that mean... was there materials here as well? I don't remember. We should probably check that out pretty soon. Oh, and as a side note, I learned from my previous mistakes. At least I hope I will. I was expecting there to be a lot of germs here, but there's not. But there is a lot of polluted oxygen, so let's just keep that in there. There's so much slime lung in here. Okay, that's a thing. But at least we should be keeping that out now with the means of these doors. I guess it's also coming in through here. Is that a problem? Maybe. I mean, I'm hoping the deodorizers will keep the oxygen, the germs, I would say, kind of under control. There's a lot of germs still here, but I just built these doors, so I'm hoping that will clear out most of that. I guess we will find out. Now, why is this not working? Hold on. You have no liquid output. No, I know. That's kind of the point. I want you to store up things rather than just have things in you. Let's see. Is there anything in here yet? There's no germs. Okay. I'm struggling to find... Oh, look, storing, 105. Okay, so it is storing stuff. Can I see what you're storing? I mean, it's 105 kilograms. Awesome. But of water. So there's still germs in this water. Okay. So... Huh, well, that's interesting. The germs are not showing up on this overview. Ha. So my theory of being able to, you know, put it in here, maybe cleanse it with the radiation from this thing, I don't think that is actually going to work like I intended it to. On the other hand, what I could do is... I was about to say put a water sieve in here, but that's not actually going to clear any of that. Yeah, not entirely sure what to do about the germs in this water just yet, but we can just continue storing it up for the moment. You also might have noticed that I built some more storage. Now, is this a smart thing? I don't know, probably not, but I like keeping things tidy and clean, and apparently my duplicants have had plenty of time to store all these other materials. There's tens of thousands of kilograms of materials just sitting there, so, you know, we might as well clean some of that up. What we do is something like this. Oh, I hate how this looks. But I do like my base clean. So, you know, let's just start cleaning out some of our base. There we go. And let's see how long it takes for this to be filled up. Huh, interesting. The options that I have available to me now include a lot of these duplicants, but I also have a new creature, a pipsqueak. Apparently that gives me a lot of decor bonus, but it's probably also going to do something else for me. Let's find out. Okay, so what do you do? Let's just check out your manual overview. Pips are pesky, non-hostile critters that subsist on thimble reeds and arbor tree branches. Okay. They are known to bury seeds in the ground whenever they can find a suitable area with enough space. Okay. They get very, very old. Okay. So we get plants. Oh, they spit out dirt. That's actually kind of useful. So thimbleweed, what do we need in order to do this? We need clothing. Needs to be an... wow! Oh, it lives on polluted water? That's interesting. That's a lot of polluted water, though. Holy moly. Polluted water. Yeah, okay. But that's a lot of polluted water. I mean, I have a lot of polluted water, don't get me wrong. How much water do I have? I mean, this is thousands of kilograms. But let me check this. I mean, 160 kilograms per cycle is a lot of polluted water. And we get no water back at all. We just get reed fiber. Huh. What was it called? A pipsqueak or something like that? Pips? Was this? Yeah, pips. Okay, so they subsist on thimble reed itself. So they leach some of their growth. Turn that into dirt. And they plant stuff? Huh. Well, we'll have to dig into that at a later point. But for now, it is really cute. So, let's see. This one is wild, I guess, right? Yeah. So... can I just put you somewhere where you're going to be planting stuff? What did you want in terms of... what do you need to survive? Can I just... I'm inclined to just put it over here and then see if he starts growing stuff. I'm not sure what type of materials he would need to grow stuff in, though. Is there a more logical place to put him? So let's relocate you to over here. I think this is a nice location. There's... oh, hold on. Is there oxygen there? No. Okay, so maybe not over there. Maybe up here. Let's try that. Okay, so where are you? Where are you, my pip? Let's relocate and let's put him over there. There should be always oxygen in here because that should be floating upwards, right? Yeah, there's a little bit of other gases that we have in our base, but nothing too major. Is there any plants here right now? No, there is just some sand. Let's find out if they will actually start growing stuff there. Meanwhile, it looks like we finished the rummaging over here. We found some databanks. That's the next science I need, right? Or is that the science I'm currently producing here? I completely forgot. You are producing something else, I think, here. Applied sciences research, yes. Yeah, I think this is the other one, but that's okay. We have some science being just laying on the ground here. We have snazzy suits as well. And what do we have over here? A warm coat. Okay, can you put on a warm coat? I completely forgot how I do this. Yeah, I can assign some suits or clothing. This is insulation for the cold, and this is just decor upgrade. Sure. You wear this one, and then you can wear the warm coat. I mean, why not? Ta-da! Aren't you looking snazzy now? Okay, was there anything else here? Databanks, nope. And that also means we already rummage these so we can start demolishing them instead. Let's make sure we grab the last tile there as well. Oh, these guys are drowning, so let's make sure that we dig out the last area over here, because I don't want them to die, and I might already be too late, but I have a lot of these guys. Hold on. That is not... it's these two relocations that I need to prioritize. Hold on. I did it. There and there. So as soon as I dig this out, which should happen any second now, someone else should run in here and try to save them. Now, honestly, what I could also do in the meanwhile is highly prioritize some of these tiles to be dug out, because that will also solve the water issue, I guess. At least to some extent. Oh, nope. Oh, too late. Okay. Well, that is something to keep in mind if we're trying to relocate some other creatures. But anyway, let's continue digging down. So this is really impressive. How is this water staying up here? Shouldn't it be falling down? I don't know. Apparently that is how things work. This water is getting a little bit annoying, to be honest, so we're going to have to deal with that. Yeah, so digging down is actually harder than it looks because, well, my people keep running out of oxygen, and that's because of all the CO2 going down, and this setup over here is completely useless at this point because this is where all the CO2 is. So I'm gonna dig out this thing on the side over here, and let's make that a higher priority and just relocate my carbon simmer water sieve setup to down here, so you know it's actually doing something again. Okie dokie, there we go. We now have the sieve on the bottom, or the skimmer I should say, and it's actually doing something which should make exploring easier if we still want to continue doing that. But honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I'm digging for at this point. So before I get too far away from my main base, might as well expand a little bit to the sides and to the well, basically in all directions, to make sure I find whatever there is to find as close as possible to my own base. It feels like I'm a little bit in a weird place in the game at the moment. I am trying to build new stuff that I unlock, but I need plastics in order to do that, and I have, as far as I know, no real way of making plastics at the moment. I need either oil, which I haven't really seen on the map yet, or I need glassy Dracos, I think, or something like that, and that I will have at some point, probably. It's going to be the ones that are going to be popping out because these ones are eating mealwood, but that's gonna take quite a while. I am popping out quite a bit of shine bugs at the moment, actually, so I'm just relocating all of them over here to decontaminate the water. I could actually relocate some of these, hold on, to over here, just clean out the germs from the polluted water. I mean, that's not particularly useful, I know, but you know, it's something I can do, might as well. But yeah, all in all, I feel like I'm kind of running around in circles. I am going to explore some of this, so, you know, let's submit the bioscan and open this door, and basically I'm exploring a little bit, but I am struggling to find what I should be doing next. And there's new creatures running around the map, but there's also the consideration, okay, I could be trying to plant new stuff and things like that, but why? What is that actually going to gain me, rather than just make things more complicated to sustain? Well, at the very least, I'm earning achievements still, so what is this one? Recover a database entry by inspecting facility ruins. Okay, so I'm not sure where we did that. I'm guessing that's over here. Okay, so we have the computer desk. What do you do? Not really much. We have a neural faxillator. Faxillator. That's what we're calling this, right? What do you do? A massive synthetic brain suspended in saline solution. Okay. Oh, we can... okay, so we get some stuff from this. Okay, that's interesting. So, we inspected that. There's something we can inspect here as well. Okay. So we get the research from all of this stuff. Well, that's nice, I guess. Let's also just deconstruct this at this point, I think, because I don't think there's any use in keeping this all up and running. So, that should do the trick. Is there anything else we unlocked that I was trying to explore so far? Yeah, over here. I don't think there's too much of interest in here. Let's dig this out. And also let's deconstruct this. There's some diamond, I think that was diamond, right? Diamond tiles. Was it diamond? Yeah, primary element. Diamond. I mean, let's deconstruct it, and maybe we'll get some diamonds out of that. And let's make sure we deconstruct this entire thing. Well, at the very least, something is working according to plan, because these shine bugs are popping out all over the place now. I have several of them decontaminating my water. I am decontaminating my polluted water even though I don't really have to. Yeah, and I have several of them to spare. So, yeah, working like intended. My Dracos are completely tame now and starting to reproduce, and I'll actually produce some phosphorite as well, so that's really nice. But that still leaves me with the question where to go to next. Now, I did discover something up here that's interesting. This is a story trait, apparently. I just clicked on it by accident, but you know, I've discovered a fossilized critter buried in my colony, at least part of one, but it does not resemble any of the species we have encountered on this asteroid. Where did it come from? How did it get here? And what other questions might these bones hold answer to? Okay, there's only one way to find out. Awesome. Which is what? Oh, we can excavate this. Okay. But we need someone with masterworks skill. Okay, hold on. That's over here in the art fundamentals. Well, maybe we can retrain Camille to have that. Yeah, she should be able to pick this up. Okay, so let's send Camille to the retrainer. Hold on. There you go. That'll take a moment, and then she can start to work on this. We'll actually have to dig it out as well, so let's start by doing that, I suppose. And I'm not sure what we actually need to uncover, but I think this should do the trick. Okay, so Camille is now retrained, so let's make her an art master, apparently. What else does that get me? I can make clothing and stuff like that. Okay, let's rename her as well, which we can't apparently do here, but we will be able to do that elsewhere. And let's just make her a supplier as well. Now, Camille, you are going to be... hold on, priorities, that's where I was going. Camille, where are you? You are going to no longer be tidying stuff up, necessarily. Hold on. What we want you to do is mostly focus on excavating? Is that a thing? I mean, you're apparently also going to be decorating stuff. I actually don't know what the thing is that you're trying to do here. Skill required, operation, excavation. What skill is that, though? I mean, you're the only one who can do it, so... I assume that's what she's going to be doing. But yeah, let's just make sure you're decorating. Is there excavating in here somewhere? I mean, digging is not the same thing, right? Actually, yes, excavate fossil. Okay, so you are going to be digging as well. Okay, well, let's just put you to use on the things you like, but make sure you're prioritizing the digging then. There we go. We'll be able to... There's a missing tile? What is missing? Maybe we need to dig it out like this? I don't know. There's more fossils in here as well, by the way, which we can excavate. Let's excavate you as well. Let's excavate you, and let's make sure we keep digging towards this excavation as well. I mean, we might need to do this or something like that. Not entirely sure how this works, but yeah, we should be able to dig those out pretty quickly now. Something else I just noticed is that we have at least 3 more of those resource producers over here. We have one over here, one over here, one over here. So yeah, let's also start digging those out to see what those can yield us. Because, you know, there might actually be something useful in there. Maybe it's oil? I don't know. Okay, I just found a new event, a personnel teleporter. Okay. It appears to go to another planetoid, and I'm fairly certain there's a return device on the other end. I'm fairly certain. Okay. I could send a duplicate through it if I decide. See destination. Ooh. Okay. That's definitely something new. So I think we're on this one right now, and we can check out its surface. Ah. Okay, what's this? Oh, there's a slush geyser here. That's interesting. Am I ready to go to a new planetoid? I don't know. Also, how do I get back? Like here? Okay. But yeah, we have a teleporter that goes somewhere else, so we're apparently not deconstructing this for sure. This is a receiver, and this is a transmitter. Okay. So what I guess we want to do is dig out a little bit of a hole here, so we have somewhere for this water to go. And then make sure we can actually get up here. And we're going to have to do that by means of a ladder as well. Actually, we're digging out a new thing here as well. But But yeah, oh, hold on, wrong button. There we go. Now let's make sure we can actually get up there. Okay, well that's interesting. What's this? Uranium ore. Oh, there's a lot of uranium over here. Well, that's good, I guess, in case we need some more radiation stuff for my research. But yeah, we are definitely exploring the map now a lot faster than we were doing before. What's this? Oh, this is one of the things I need for this artifact, right? I guess that's how that works. Let me zoom out. Where's the other ones? Oh, there's one over here. There's one over here, and then I think we needed 4. Hold on. Yeah, we needed 4 of them, but maybe this is one of the other ones? Well, we'll find out sooner or later. Okay, so with a couple of minutes of exploring, I just went from I don't know really what to do, I don't have that much goals for myself, to I have way too many goals. So I want to finish this thing, for which I need to dig out 4 different types of fossils. And I already know that one of them is right over here. This is the amber fossil. The other 2, like we saw before, are quite a bit further away. There's one over here on the map, and there's one all the way down here. That's quite far away, actually. Now, those are the 3 fossils. The petrified ember and frozen fossil. The ancient specimen. I guess that's this. Is this what we're trying to find? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. But yeah, that is definitely interesting. We also have the teleporter now, which I will use, but I think that's more like a next session or something like going to happen. But we also have a lot of vents, I just realized. So I have this one over here that's going to produce polluted water, which is quite useful. I have one over here that's going to produce cobalt, which is super hot, but sounds very valuable, although I'm not entirely sure what we want to use cobalt for, but still. This one over here is polluted oxygen. Well, it's free oxygen at least, so that's always good. That means I literally can die. I mean, I can die, but at least 3 of my dudes will stay alive by having this one up. And there's actually more. There's a cool steam vent here as well. And this is going to produce steam. And I think I just saw another one. I haven't really been looking for them because mostly I didn't know what to look for. But I might have confused the one that we were just looking at with the one I'm looking for now. But basically, there's vents all over the place that I can use. Oh, look at that. There is something over here as well that we can get some more research from. I also now have access to these things. Did I rummage them yet? Nope. Let's go and do that as well. And I also have... Where is it? Here. These things. So we should definitely rummage these as well. Although we'll have to dig it out because apparently something fell over it. But yeah, that is a lot of things to work on. Now, what I'm really excited about is this polluted water. Because this polluted water is something that I can use to... grow my plants. And if I remember, there was one specific plant that we needed. That was the reed thing that I was looking at earlier. Let me pick my cheat box over here. There we go. What plant was it? Sleetweed? This needs dirt and water, so not polluted water, but actual water. What do you need? Just double checking. You need... So this is a plant that can absorb heat. It needs a supply of gas, which I guess is just anything in the air. And then it is going to need phosphorite. So that's kind of cool, to be honest. And this phosphorite is something we have available, actually, because we have these dudes. These Dracos producing 10 kilograms of this per thingy. And where is it? Where is it? Here. 10 kilograms per cycle. That means that between the 2 of these, I can actually feed 5 plants, 5 of these reefers, and these are going to cool down stuff, so I don't have to be afraid of temperature anymore. Famous last words. But we also have aquatic seeds, and we have the thimble reed that is going to produce a reed fiber, and that's also going to be something I can use in conjunction with... Where did you... Oh, hold on. Oh, you can walk on walls. Okay, you're kind of like a Draco then. Okay, but we can use for this guy, because this guy feeds off that, right? Yeah. thimbleweed. So, do I care about that? Well, this guy can produce dirt, I believe, right? Yes, dirt. 20 kilograms of dirt per cycle when properly fed. Is that a lot? Not really, I don't think, because what is the mealweed taking in? 10 kilograms per cycle. So, I don't know, one of these pips can feed 2 woods worth of planting. So, between all of that, there is a recipe there that's kind of shouts to me that we have a potential for like going infinite, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Now, what I do want to do is, I kind of want to set up a pip farm now. Maybe using this polluted water as a base as well. I mean, we have this very nice thing here. So, can pips plant anywhere? Hold on. They were going to plant stuff, right? To bury seeds in the ground wherever they can find a suitable area with enough space. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't overcomplicate this. Do we need them to plant stuff? That's the real question. Or can I just put them in the farm and not care about it too much? I mean, we want to be planting that weed anyway. So, thimbleweed, how fast do you grow? Oh, actually a full cycle in just a full life cycle in just 2 cycles. So it's 50% per day. And again, how much did you eat? Not that much, right? Yeah, so if I have 2 of those plants, I can feed 5 pips already. Just 2 plants. And 2 plants is going to take how much polluted oxygen? Not polluted oxygen, polluted water. Oh man, 160 kilograms per cycle. Ooh, that's a lot. Let me think about this. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I have a couple of these wild plants over here, so I could harvest these and get the seeds, and then maybe plant the seeds somewhere else, because this is of course a layout that I don't particularly like, and they will still keep growing, assuming that they aren't overheating, so I do need to watch for that. But as long as they are not overheating and they're just in a basically normal atmosphere, they will keep growing. I could actually grow them underground. That's interesting. I can grow them in the water. Although that's probably not what I want to do right now. But anyway, they will grow much slower, so they need 8 cycles to grow. But that means that if I have 2 of these wild ones, I can still sustain a single pip. And that would just sustain itself. The pip would eat the plant and produce some dirt and keep going forever, basically. I would actually have a little bit more than I need in order to sustain that just by doing that. So yeah, that's a thing we could be doing. So I figured, why not do that over here? Make a nice little pip farm. I have a lot of natural ground here, so plenty of space for the pip to actually start planting stuff. There's some mealwood seeds in here as well, so I'll probably have to clear out all the seeds at least that are on the floor here, because I think the way it works is that the pip, if I read this correctly, they are going to bury seeds in the ground whenever they can find a suitable area with enough space. So if he can find seeds, he's just going to put them in the ground, basically. And if I make sure he's enclosed here, he can only plant it here where I actually want it to be. So that should be nice, right? Oh, let's give it a try. Okay, there we go. I've cleared everything out and I'm now delivering some of the seeds. I didn't actually have to uproot these things. I could just leave them for the moment, at least. That's what I think I can do. And I can just put these thimbleweed seeds here on the ground. Now I need to find my actual pip. There you go. Let's make sure you get relocated there as well. And then hopefully we should just see them planting. I'm not sure if I need to domesticate them or not. For the moment, I'll just leave it as it is. Speaking of domestication, by the way, look at all of the creatures that are now running around here. I am relocating some of my sage hatchlings over here into this pen over here. There's 7 in here. I'm putting 2 more in there. So one of you is going to have to move out. And yeah, that is all working very much like intended. So Kinda nice. Let's make sure we give a high priority to the pip actually going there. We have some more seeds incoming actually, so that is nice. And let's see if we can actually plant ourselves some wild plants. Okay, that is one pip being delivered. I know you were looking at seeds. You are looking for food though, so I'm not sure if I need like one of these thimble reeds to get it started, or if it will just manage by itself, but we'll just leave it in here for a little bit and see what happens. Now, in the meanwhile, if you want to see something funny, I have these shine bugs now all over the place. They are spawning way faster than they're dying, actually. I have a few dozen of them, I think, by now. Speaking of a few dozen, I actually got a shipment of pacus as well, so we have a whole bunch of pacus now floating around in here as well. They're not domesticated or anything like that. I mean, these shine bugs are, and they will die at some point, but yeah, that's the thing. But look at the germ count. I cleared out pretty much all the slime lung that was spawning in here. Even the polluted water is now free of germs. So at this point, there's really no reason for me not to dump just the germs in here, because my little shine bugs are going to make short work of that in a matter of, I don't know, a few cycles at the most, I think. Yeah, oh, and by the way, I also found this creature, a pufflet. Now, this thing, I'm not sure I entirely understand how you work, but he eats polluted oxygen, which, you know, that's why I put him here, because there's plenty of that over here. And then he excretes slime. What I don't really know, maybe it says somewhere over here, how much of that. 50 kilograms of polluted oxygen, that's a lot of oxygen. And that's going to be turned into, well, almost 50 kilograms of slime. I mean, that sounds like a lot of oxygen. I'm pretty sure it is. But it's mostly being produced over here anyway. That might be a problem at some point. I don't know. But for now, oxygen is really not an issue. So I'm going to assume that it won't be an issue for the foreseeable future. Famous last words. But yeah. Oh, hey, look. Oh, you're too warm, too cold? What's going on here? Well, he should be growing, right? Oh, he's definitely planting thimble reeds. That's awesome. Okay. So that's working like intended. But, oh, yeah, and you're growing. Well, that's awesome. So we have our little pip over here actually turning these plants into, yeah, new wild plants. Okay, now the real question is, do I want to domesticate these things? How old do you get? Once again, let's turn to the more useful menu. 100 cycles, okay. And, oh, you have cuddle pips? Okay. What I really want to know, though, is how long do you take to spawn? Oh, but wait a minute, I just remembered something that one of you said in the comments, that I should also use pips to make, I think it was a park or something like that. Where is it? Rooms. Park. Requires 2 wild plants. And I've not really been paying attention to that, but that's a +3 to morale. And if I can make a nature reserve, I need 4 wild plants. It's gonna give a 6. So what I'm thinking is, I have this break room over here that is not particularly useful, but all of my dudes do go there. So if I can get 4 plants to spawn kind of like over here. So let's make a tiny little room here. I'm not sure if this is going to work. We could just make it a little bit bigger, to be fair. I don't know. Could be something like this. How large does the break room need to be? Or what was it called? The recreation room? Yeah, minimum size is just 12 tiles. So if I make one over here, but let's see if this works first. I'm gonna sweep all of that stuff out. And then I'm gonna put some random, I don't know, grub fruit seeds and stuff like that in here. Maybe not grub fruit, maybe just mealwood, honestly, because, you know, I have plenty of those seeds for sure. Just a couple of mealwood seeds in here. And if I can get my pip to plant those here as well, then I can make this into a very easy, massive morale bonus. Now, as a side note, I'm kind of using the system to work for me in this case, because I know for a fact that I have more thimbleweed seeds somewhere in my base, but for the life of me I can't find them. So apparently the best way to handle that is just to plant them and then uproot them again. So this basically the duplicants are transporting the seeds to a designated location for me, so I can then move them into a designated location somewhere else. Okay, so I now have some mealwood over here. I have the pip delivered over here. So you start planting those nature preserve plants for me. You go, you can do it. Yep, oh, yep, that's one. Okay, 3 more to go and we have ourselves a nature reserve. Okay, so I had been obsessively staring at my pip for a long time, trying to figure out why he was only planting the single tile, and I think that's probably because these things are getting in each other's way. There might be a limit to how many plants can be close together, and considering the first plant was in the middle of the room, that was probably not optimal. So I'm hoping that now he will take one of the seeds, plant it in this corner, and then we can slowly start unveiling some of these things to see if he will start planting them. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the fact that was super quick is either just dumb luck, or it confirms my suspicion that there is some sort of priority system going on where there can't be too many plants together. Anyway, let's keep working on that. Okay, this is going according to plan. I now have 3 mealwood already planted here neatly in a row, one by one. So now hopefully he will also start planting this one. Let's make sure we relocate this so I can actually tell what's going on. Let's make that a high priority. Not sure what the priority set on this thing is about. Can cancel that one. Let's make sure we sweep this up as well, just because we can. So we can actually see what's going on here and whether or not we will get a 4th plant here in a row. Last time around there were 3 plants in the general area. So the 4th one might be the challenge, but I'm willing to take that challenge. Okay, I've been staring some more at my pip to hopefully see him plant that 4th seed in a row, but that's not happening, so I'm now opening up a 5th spot, see if that works. Going once, going twice. It would be very nice for my content if you just did it right away. Nope. Well, I'll just leave him at it for a little bit. In the meanwhile, what I've been doing is actually starting to dig out a tunnel to the next part of the frozen fossil, or the fossil I should say, because the amber one I dug out, so that is completely excavated now, and we are down to 2 left. The petrified one and the frozen one are still left. Yeah, and that's gonna take a minute, but you know, there's nothing to do but wait on our pip to plant anyway. Okay, here we go. So we have 5 plants in here now, and it seems that there needs to be, you can have 3 in a row, and then you need at least 1 gap, or at least 2 gaps, I should say, because it didn't want to plant anything here or here when I tried it. And there might be a gap of 3 needed, I'm not entirely sure, but that's because there was a tile here that was not a natural tile. Anyway, so maybe it's, so it's either 3 plants, 3 times nothing, 3 plants, or it's 3 plants, 2 times nothing, 3 plants, or something like that. But anyway, working like intended, so now my pip is going to go back to his own farm. I'm going to start from both sides and just see whether or not he wants to plant something here now, because I have a feeling these plants might be obstructing this one, but, you know, we're gonna find out. Oh hey, would you look at that? He immediately started planting the thimbleweed over here in the corner, so that is actually really nice, because that means I am gonna block this one out. Let's make that a high priority. And we are going to deconstruct this tile and see if we can fit as many thimbleweeds in here as we possibly can. Although now I say that, I kind of want this to be the grooming station, because I do want to turn this into a pip farm. So, hold on, that means that I should probably start on that end rather than on this end. So yeah, we're just gonna reverse the entire thing. But most importantly, look at this. We have a park sign planted over here, and now this is a nature reserve, which is going to give me a +6 moral bonus. Now, of course, people actually need to go into this room in order to get that bonus. There should be a very easy way of doing that. And that's just by making sure that this is now a whatchamacallit, a recreation room. Let's also make some pots so we can have some nicer scenery over there. Something like that. I don't think we actually are using the juicer, so let's just deconstruct that one. Let's deconstruct everything in here that we don't need. including the water cooler. And just make sure that we prioritize that one. And then this should automatically turn into a a recreation room by itself. It's a really tiny one. That's fine. Should probably just build a wall just to make it look a little bit more tidy though. Look at them chilling in their brand new recreation room, and they should be getting a massive bump in morale for that. So let's see, if I go into the skills and I look up, for example, Camille now. Oh, you actually have Camille over here. Look at that, 20 morale. She only needs the 10. So yeah, working like intended. Now there's a couple of them that seem to be allergic for some of these plants. I thought it was nice to have the floral scent in here, but apparently some of them don't really like that. And it's coming from this plant over here, so I'm just going to replace that with something else. Okay, I've added in some more plants over here just because I can, and yeah, let's plant some more. That finishes up, looks really nice. It gives a massive decor bonus as well. So, you know, the more time they spend chilling in either one of these areas, the happier everyone will be. Now, I'm having some trouble fitting in enough plants in over here. I think there's one fin breed that he planted over here, but he's kind of refusing to plant any more than that. So I'm gonna go to plan B, and that's just expanding this area. So if I expand this like this is one area. So normally what I would do, hold on. Well, yeah, we're actually going to dig those up most likely, but just to make safe. This is where the normal second level would be. Huh. Okay, that is really inconvenient. Is it? Yeah, it is, because I kind of want... okay. I'll have to live with that. We'll do it something like... Actually, no, it's not that bad. Okay, we're going to do it exactly like this. So we're going to dig all of that out. This is going to be the floor. I am going to dig down and make this the floor, because this is where the floor is actually supposed to be. Yes. Then we are going to put in some more doors over here and here. I am gonna put in an actual tile over there. Yeah, and then we're not going to remove all of this. Are we? No, actually, we are going to remove that. Okay, let me just build it and let me show you what I'm thinking. Okay, so here we go. I cleared out this room. It is now a way too large room to actually qualify as a stable, even though I do have the grooming station in here. But I'm gonna fill this up with rocks as many as I need, but some of those rocks are actually going to be hydroponic tiles that I'm going to use to farm some actual thimbleweed, so I can sustain a larger population in here. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to need some of the polluted water I can get from, where is it? Over here. So we're going to use this one, which is nice and close by, so that's convenient. But first and foremost, I'm going to make sure we have as many wild plants as I can fit in here on the bottom. So that should be out of range of these plants, I hope. I'm not sure how large the radius is, but it's probably not going to be massive. So I'm first going to do that, and in the meanwhile, I'm going to install kind of like the piping and stuff like that for the hydroponics tiles, and we'll take it from there. Now, there's just one problem. I actually don't know how one of these vents works. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to dig out a whole area around it. Am I going to do that? Yeah, I think I am. So the idea is, okay, this is a vent, right? So I don't know how high this is going to spew stuff up. Maybe not at all. Maybe it's just going to like dribble out. But if that's the case, what I then want to happen is that I'm going to have a tile over there. So hopefully the water is not going to go splurt. Oh, actually, I can just do it like this. And then we are going to make a little basin over here for all that water to go into. Maybe something like this. At this point, I don't think I'm gonna try to be too symmetric anymore. Mostly because any rooms I want to build are probably going to be in here anyway. But what I could do is... Actually, we can make it square. That's fine. And then we are pretty much just gonna dig this entire thing out. Now, I could stay with my levels though. So let's see, this would be the level. So at this height, sure. So if that's the case, then what I want to do is... This is the height we're going for. So I could enclose the space like so. I mean, that should allow this geyser to still output, right? Hopefully. Okay. So this is going to be the bucket of water. Then I am going to need a door. So that door is going to be there and there. Like so and so. Let's begin with that, as well as probably adding in some letters, so I can actually get down here and get down there, because we should be able to walk across that. I am going to dig... Am I going to dig this out? No, that actually has no purpose, for the moment at least. Other than maybe making it more easily accessible. So let's actually dig this out. And do like that. And then we're going to need to add a pump here to pump the polluted water up there. Oh, hold on. Apparently this thing is dormant to begin with, so I need someone with field research in order to operate this building. I actually don't know which skill that is. Field research. Hello? Oh, here, filter. Oh, I should have several. I have at least one of them, apparently. We could potentially even have more than one. Look at that. Why do you only have like 12 morale while all your friends have way more than that? Some of them are on 11. Why are you only on 11? Oh, you didn't go to the nice chilling area yet. Why not? I mean, it's right there. Let's make sure you are disabled, because we don't want people to chill out over here. We want them to chill out over there in the awesome room. But yeah, we should have someone who can operate this thing. So, apparently we need to analyze you. Let's make that a high priority, because otherwise this thing is not going to do anything. And there we go. I think Abe is going to go and research this thing. Now, what is that going to tell me? The interesting thing is that even though it says the active period and the average output is going to require analysis, the information that you need in order to calculate that is already here. I mean, it's going to erupt for 144 seconds every about 300, so about 50% of the time it's going to be active. When it's active, it's going to be producing 9.6 kilograms per second. So, you know, that's about 4.8 kilograms per second on average, the production time. I mean, if you want to know the details, I guess you need to figure this out. But anyway, I'm not complaining. I mean, it's nice that we have that. Ooh, hold on. You should probably start by building stairs rather than digging yourself into a hole. Actually, let me make that a very high priority, because otherwise I'm going to lose one of you due to stupid reasons again. Okay, so Abe is just done with the polluted water vent, and we have now an analysis. Are you still dormant? Yes. Okay, it won't erupt again for some time. Active period, 77.5 cycles every... Oh, okay. So it's actually not going to be active until 32 cycles from now? Well, so much for my plan, I suppose. And then it's going to be active... for 77.5 cycles. And then it's going to erupt for a very long... okay. Okay. Well... that's quite different from what I thought it was going to be, but that also means that this is going to be outputting a lot less than I thought initially, so that's one thing. It's also going to be very active for a short amount of time. So that means that I will probably want to capture the surplus water in that case. So I'm probably going to want to extend this bucket over here quite substantially. Yeah. Okay, let me think about this for a moment. And while I'm thinking that, it's also probably a good idea to start analyzing some of these other vents that I have around, because, well, if they play by the same rules, then I kind of want to know when they're active and not going to be active, because that's going to drastically change what I can do with them. I had some more volcanoes over here. that I completely forgot where they are. There's one. We also have a magma one somewhere. Anyway, I'll find it. Oh, hey, would you look at that? We just earned a colony achievement, I think, for surviving for, yeah, 100 cycles. With at least one living duplicant. Can you continue without living duplicates? I don't know, but apparently you can. Anyway, that's awesome. So, I am not running out of water anytime soon, but this is also not going to fill up with water anytime soon, because this is going to be dormant for like another 30 cycles. Yeah. So I am just gonna dump a lot of this water that I have up here in here and get it started. Okay, there we go. We have some polluted water in here now, and we're dropping more and more into it, which will actually make exploring and clearing out this entire area a lot easier moving forward. So yeah, this wasn't really what I intended to do, but it's a nice side effect of doing it. I do need to be a little bit mindful about these fish, by the way. I have a tropical pacu here for some reason. So yeah, let me relocate you to, where's my pacu bin? Here. Yeah, and I'm gonna do the same thing with all the other pacus. So for some unknown reason, the pip refused to plant the next Thimblreed 3 tiles away, or 4 tiles away I should say, with 3 in between, even though it worked fine over here with the mealwood. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between Thimbleweed and mealwood, but yeah, maybe it already grew too high or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, we have 7 of them over here, and that is not going to be enough to sustain an entire farm of pips. So I'm gonna add some hydro farms to add in the rest. Okay, this is super satisfying. Look at all that polluted water dripping down right where it needs to go. This is actually a lot more water than I thought it was going to be, but yeah, we are about to pump a whole bunch of it into these liquid reservoirs. Now, it helps if you actually connect everything up. I didn't do that intentionally, of course, because I wanted to make sure everything was working. But basically, this is going to be a bit of a buffer, just to make sure I have somewhere for the surplus water to go, other than in this bucket. But the bucket is going to be the main thing I'm gonna keep my eye on, of course, in terms of, do I still have enough water to do everything I want to do. Now, that also means that I'm gonna have to pump some water. Now, initially I was thinking about making the additional hydroponic spot up here, but we have that empty slot here, so we might as well make use of that. And that's going to make for a very nice layout. Now I'm also putting in some roofing over here. I'm going to take out this part, so that if I did my math correctly, we should end up with a farm of 92 tiles. Okay, here we go. Look at that little pip being happy. He's being groomed at the moment. We have 7 natural plants growing in here that don't require any food whatsoever, any water mostly. And we have one growing here being farmed with my hydroponic farm that is using this massive boatload of polluted water that I've now dumped in here. Now, is this going to be a problem once this thing erupts? I don't know. We're going to find out. I assume maybe if this drowns itself, maybe it will stop working. I actually don't know, but that means we'll have plenty of water to work with for now for this single hydroponic farm. Now, between these 8 plants, we should be able to have about 7 of these pips. So all now we need to do is make sure there's never more than 7 in here, and we can actively start farming them. And there we go, a fully functional pip farm. Now, speaking of farms, in the meanwhile, this took a little while, about 40 cycles this episode. Yeah, I've been producing a few other things. There's basically shine bugs all over my base at this point. And the interesting thing is I put a few in the bathroom over here, and they actually are reproducing themselves. I mean, these are not wild ones. They should be dying from starvation, but somehow they are reproducing in the bathroom. So, okay, I'll take it. Would have been nice if the ones that are actually supposed to, you know, be useful also did that, but okay, well, I guess I can't complain too much if I get like free pets. But yeah, you can see I'm producing way more, even though I have a tiny little farm up and running here. I'm producing way more than I actually need, so there's a lot of eggs being hatched as well. I am also thinking maybe I should build another one of these and have that one switch to sedimentary rock, so I can transform a couple of these into the stone hatchlings, I think they're called, that are going to feed on sedimentary rock. That was something that was recommended to me. Igneous rock or something like that, something I have a lot of and that has very little other use, so let's see. I think it was this one, the igneous rock. And you can see I already have 264 tons of that, which is actually twice as much as I have dirt. So it makes sense to maybe switch to that at some point. I mean, the dirt is going to last me for a little while longer, especially considering I'm now going to be producing dirt, because this is what the pips are going to be spitting out. But I think this entire farm worth of pips is only going to produce enough dirt for like one of these sage hatchlings. So yeah, at some point we're definitely going to have to switch over to something else. For the meanwhile, not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that, but at least it's a lot of meat running around. And if anything, I can just start cracking some eggs and get some stuff out of that way. Not entirely sure what we're going to do with that. But yeah, I think this was enough for one episode. Now, what I really like about what we've done today, other than just setting up the nature reserve, which is going to be extremely helpful, as well as the nice little secondary polluted water farm over here, is that this will allow me to start clearing up a lot of space around my base. Maybe just completely strip mine it. I'll have to think about it for a moment. But we have a kind of a secondary shaft over here, but we can actually build a secondary shaft over here as well. I took that into consideration when I built this ladder. So that is going to allow me to expand a lot further, even further than I have already done. And, oh, I actually completely forgot that I was rummaging these lockers, but look at all these snazzy suits that are up here. We're going to have to put those to use as well. But for now, if you're still here, you are awesome. And you are awesome too, Pip. You are awesome. And yeah, I definitely hope to catch you in the next one.